The final score, Barrytown United 1, Wrexham nil. And, right, okay, bit of housekeeping first. What I'm basically going to do for the next 10 minutes is list loads of chances for Wrexham to score. Then I'll mention a couple for Barry, because that's basically how the game went. And it went against us. And, yeah, I guess I've got to give it some context. I mean, it was galling, because Wrexham had massively the majority of play in the game. Didn't turn that domination into enough chances, but certainly made a lot of chances and should have scored. And then the game turns in the final 15 minutes of a red card and then a goal. However, I do need to say something to put all I'm about to say into context. I thought Barrytown played well too. We played well. They played well too. And I think that's an important thing to point out, because the fact of the matter is that they had a specific way of playing, they had a game plan, and they carried it out to absolute perfection. They are on superb form. They kept a clean sheet at Swansea a couple of weeks ago, and after a horrible opening day beating, they have really hit form. And so, yeah, I think they deserve a lot of credit for their game plan. I'm going to use phrases like park the bus, but I'm not using it in its pejorative sense. I'm not really trying to criticise them for it. They had a very clear game plan. It was a fascinating game tactically, and ultimately they pulled off what they wanted to do. We failed to do what we wanted to do because we didn't make the most of, well, our best performance of the season, perhaps. Okay, if you're going to put it in the context of the opposition, very good. Not that you'd necessarily realise it from yesterday's results. So our performances against them in defeat were very good. But in terms of just moving the ball around, being snappy, dominating play, patterns of passing, and incisive passing as well, we really played very well. So a frustrating game. All right, okay. Let's have a look at what happened, shall we? We stuck with a three at the back. Indon playing off Rosie Hughes up front setup. With a couple of alterations, Mary Gibbard coming back in midfield, for example. Great to see Phoebe Davis back on the bench, and she managed to make a late appearance in the game too. But I think Barrytown's team is important to talk about here, because they set the tone in many ways. Okay, park the bus. Yeah, okay. Yeah, by definition, certainly. They played five at the back, and I mean five, not three, because their fullbacks didn't venture forwards. So they played permanently with five at the back. They had a good couple of quick strikers who were sort of split strikers, and Ordland, who was a really good player, sitting in the hole behind them, who basically was good at distributing. So they were defensive, but like I said, it was a game plan, not just a cover ourselves up and hope for the best approach, because they're quick on the break, really quick on the break. Ordland is a good sort of number 10 style player in the setup, so if you can get the ball to her quite high up the pitch, she'll look to feed good passes out to the strikers running either side of her, or the two midfielders, Murray and Long, sitting in front of the back five for longer passes forwards just to mark break. So they were very good on the break. They have been all season. They made chances at Swansea when they drew 0-0. That's their game plan. That's their approach. That's what they were looking to do to us. What we did was dominate possession completely. And it was pleasing, I thought, to be honest, the leeway we made in their half. You know, we weren't just passing it passively in front of a strong five-player defence. We were making good runs, we were getting good passes in. I think it helps that we have three central defenders in Clark, Allen and Lily Jones, who are all comfortable to ball at their feet, and they can all make those passes out from the back. It's all changed a lot from the Britain Ferry game, where we just couldn't get the ball out from the back. And of course with Fuller in midfield drifting around to link up with them as well, you know, our passing through the thirds was snappy, it was good, and we caused problems. In the first half especially, really almost exclusively down the left. Lightfoot was constantly involved, but a lot of crosses in, and a lot of good ones as well. First chance that we made, 13th minute, it was Lightfoot breaking down the left, whipping a horrible ball into the box. The goalkeeper Arneson, who would be a key player in this, got down and could only palm it back into the goal mouth. Hughes was scrambling and battling to try and bring the ball under control in order to get a shot off. Couldn't in the end, but the ball came to Lightfoot about 10 yards out, and she pulled her shot quite badly, and it went wide. Then, again, Wrexham on the attack. This time, a ball down the left-hand side to Lightfoot again. She ripped in another nasty ball in. Jenkins under the bar, who defended her 6-yard box superbly. All three centre-backs were excellent for Barry. Did well to hook it away for a corner. Lily Jones, whose corners caused constant problems, swept it in under the bar. We were crowding the keeper and dropping the ball on her. Arneson got a fist to it, but it only dropped at the far post. And it looked like Allen was going to run onto it and smash it into the net. Jenkins again doing brilliantly to lunge in and prod the ball behind for another corner. It was constant pressure. We were pushing on well. Gibbards was really energetic in midfield, trying to push up and down. We need another chance with a neat passing move. Lily Jones feeding Gibbard, who quickly helped her on to the left-hand side. Lightfoot this time tried a right-footed cross, cut onto her right, swept the ball in, and Cairns charging into it was unmarked at the far post, and it looked to me more like she missed her header than couldn't reach it. She just mistimed it. It was a free header about 6-7 yards out. Again, another decent opportunity. Craven in goal for Wrexham was, in this stage of the match, a spectator, but her distribution's good and she did really well. She caught a free kick, delivered a long ball forwards, which carried through to Rosie Hughes. She was taking on the last defender, Jenkins again. Jenkins did superbly to stick with her. Hughes is faster than Jenkins, but Jenkins really dug deep to stick with her. Hughes eventually was able to pull it back for Cara Jones, 6 yards out, but it came a little bit behind her, and she tried to hit it on the turn, didn't get much power on it, chance was gone. Then Lily Jones again bursting brilliantly out from her own half, beating two players, then playing a fabulous pass. Abby Iddenden one-on-one with the keeper Arneson. Arneson made an excellent decision. She attacked the ball. Iddenden got there first, but Arneson arrived soon enough to be able to tackle Iddenden as she tried to walk around her and tap it into an empty net. And then again Iddenden, this time latching onto a nice lofted ball into the right channel, running into the box. Defender stuck to her shoulder well. Iddenden had a pop from about 15 yards, couldn't keep it down. It's constant pressure from Wrexham. And the half ended with another moment, well, the first of three crazy scrambles in the penalty area from Lily Jones' corner. She swept it in. A massive scramble, 3 shots are blocked. Firstly, Cairns hits it from 15 yards or so out, it's blocked. Then Clark hits one from a similar range, it's blocked. It falls to Iddenden, who just for a fraction moment from a tightish angle on the right side of the box has a sight of goal. She strikes it well, an excellent block, puts it behind for the corner. So goalless at half-time. The results are now coming in. Cardiff are losing 2-0 at home to Britain Ferry. Swansea are losing at home to TNS. And you think, right, okay, we keep playing like this, we get a goal, we get the win, and we are right up there suddenly in the league table. But we got an immediate warning in the first minute of the second half that things are going to be a little bit different. Barry were looking to break on us. They weren't really achieving it. The back three were very good at covering the breaks, and they weren't really making any chances. But they should have gone ahead in the first minute of the second half. Ortland sweeping a great ball to the far post. Now, Gibbard had done really well to track the run of Turner at the far post. But just as she turned to look over her shoulder to see exactly where Turner was, Ortland put in a great cross, and it went past Gibbard. Turner looked certain to score, 6 yards out, nailed the shot. Unbelievable save by Lizzie Craven. Unbelievable save. I mean, honestly, the way she covered the ground and got across and saved it, magnificent. It really was. And so she saved us with really the first threat on her goal. We get back on top of the game. And around the hour mark, Brooke Cairns has an absolute purple patch in which she's outstanding and just runs the middle of the pitch. Starts off with her feeding a ball in for Cara Jones, which it's classic Cara Jones goal-scoring territory, running from it out to in, getting into the channel. Cairns picks her up beautifully, and she's got a chance to take the keeper on from, 15 or so yards out before the defenders get across to block the route to goal, but she hit across it a bit, sliced it into the side netting. Then it's Cairns again, good work in midfield, squaring it on to Gibbard. She helped it on really nicely to Lightfoot, but she pulls her finish. She's in the box, left of centre, but pulls it and goes wide. And then Cairns again with a brilliant effort. The ball comes in. It was a superb take. And firstly, she's under a lot of pressure, takes it on the chest, spins on the ball as it drops, and then carries it forwards, and from a good 30 yards tries a a lob over the keeper. Brilliant effort, just too much on it, and it clears the bar. Soon after that, Wrexham again, piling on the pressure. Lily Jones getting down the right-hand side, ripping in a good cross, which is desperately cleared. Comes back to Jones, who pulls another one in, and Lightfoot brings it down inside the box, left of centre, cutting in, tries to put it inside the far post. A slight little slice on it, though, just takes it off target. Then it's Cara Jones breaking down the right-hand side, floating a wonderful cross in. Gibbard sprinting in at full pelt, lunges in unmarked in the 6-yard box, inches from making it. There seems to be an awful lot of those little black beads on the pitch. It's a 5G pitch, 4G pitch, whatever G it is. And it came up like a fountain as she lunged in to try and get there. Wrexham keep possession, push back in again, get the corner. And from the corner, another ludicrous scramble. Lily Jones ripping the ball into the goal mouth. And this one really is crazy. I mean, we have so many bites of the cherry. The 6-yard box is so packed. I always feel that you're not going to get a goal from a goal mouth scramble because there's so many bodies in there. But this one felt like the goal had to come. Allen hits a shot which is blocked on the line. It comes back out. Lightfoot hits a shot that goes through a crowd. Keeper's got no chance. Takes a double deflection right in front of the keeper. And it sits in there. And for a moment, it looks like Fuller is going to just get there and tap it into an empty net. Arneson recovering really well. Lunges and manages to smother it. We make changes, which is understandable. Because I just think we had to try something. So Ava Suckley comes on to replace Abby Iddenden. And Erin Lovett comes on to replace Mary Gibbard. And unfortunately for Lovett, 50 seconds after she's come onto the pitch, she's sent off. Now, this is a cruel one, really. She's, like I said, not getting into the game. It's her first involvement in the game. A ball knocked over the top. At half-time, they brought on Kira Hughes, who was very quick. And she's threatening to run in on goal, get past Lovett. Lovett does actually get there first, but it's a horrible ball to try and control, dropping over her head. She gets a touch on it. Hughes nicks it from her. Lovett tries to foul her immediately. Hughes carries on. Lovett grabs her and pulls her down. Definite foul. Is it a red card? Wrexham are furious about it. I think it's a 50-50. I think, to use the new cliche, it's one of those that if there was VAR, the ref wouldn't overturn. The VAR wouldn't overturn it either way. My take on it is that when Lovett starts to commit the foul and makes that first attempted foul, which Hughes carries on for, there is no cover. She's the last defender. That's a red card, no question. It's a good 25 yards out, but there's no way anyone's coming back. But Hughes carries on. Lovett grabs her, and by the time Hughes go down, there is cover. Allen has got back, and I would say I'd expect a referee to consider that to be sufficient cover to not give the red. But I think the rest of it is right to give the red. I mean, where does he interpret the foul to have actually occurred? Is it at the start when Lovett starts grabbing hold of her, or when she tries to chop her the first time? Plays an advantage, doesn't get it, brings it back and shows the red cards, which I think is perfectly legitimate. Yeah, there was also a point made on Ask Wrexham by Al Gill and corroborated by Keith Scotty as well, quite right. And I hadn't most at the time. And when I look back, I saw quite right. There were 2 balls on the pitch. But sadly, before we start looking for conspiracy theories, I double-checked the rules, and basically, if there's a second ball on the pitch and it's not interfering with play, carry on. If the ball interferes with play, it's a different matter. But if this ball was on the wing, there's nothing to do with anything. So, yeah, we can't complain about that. So, Lovett's unfortunate. We go down to 10. Ordland takes the free kick from 25 yards out. A great strike inside the left post. Craven does really well to get across and push it behind for the corner. But that is where the breakthrough comes. Corner swept into the goal mouth. There's a scramble. It's a good ball into the far post. Suckley does well to scrap, but can't stop the ball getting nodded into the goal mouth. It's going in. Cara Jones on the post volleys it away with power. And this is where it really gets cruel. We've had all these scrambles that won't just refuse to go in. Ellie Priest, Barry, substitute, turns her back on the ball because it's going to hit her. It hits her on the back of the head. She knows nothing about it. And it spins into the top corner. And Wrexham are behind and down to 10. And well, we make more changes. We make tactical changes. We try to go at them. We're clearly leaving the back door open. In fact, within 90 seconds, Craven's done well again. Long ball forward. She just manages to beat the pacey Harris to it and launch it away. But we do put pressure on. Lily Jones with another great pass forward. Suckley one-on-one with the keeper, but it just bounces awkwardly behind her. And by the time she's brought it under control, she runs into a challenge and rides the challenge and is one-on-one with the keeper with the ball at her feet. But that challenge has just slowed her down enough for Corn to come across and make the most insane, brilliant block. I mean, it was a hell of a good piece of defending. And the chance is gone. We throw Rebecca Pritchard on for Lightfoot. We throw Phoebe Davis on for Clark. It's great to see her back on the pitch, and she's really trying to push up and use her good passing range. While Pritchard didn't get as much service as maybe she should have done. She took up some nice positions. There was another chance for Ortland on a free kick, which this time from a similar range she drove just wide. And then, the very last action. The referee shows 5 minutes, but there's a scramble on the edge of the Barry box. The ref misses a foul on a Wrexham player. But I kind of understand that because it was a crowd in the D. They were hacking away. And whether we could see everything clear, I don't know. But when you look back at it, it's clearly like an ankle. So studs up ankle, or through the ankle, challenge a yellow card tackle in the D. Free kick's not given. But the Wrexham player who was fouled, I think it was Fuller, if I remember correctly, falls and lands on the Barry player who fouled her and hits her head. So the game has to be stopped while there's treatment. And it's a drop ball. Now, of course, you can't have a contested drop ball anymore, can you? Fuller was on it at first, but then Rosie Hughes, I think, points that out and says, well, they can't contest it. So once it drops, I'll hit it on the half volley. Wow, imagine the last kick of the game equaliser off a drop ball. That would have been something else. Barry, interestingly, made a two-player wall because they can't contest it. So rather than get in trouble for trying to rush the drop ball, they make a two-player wall. And Hughes pulls it, sadly, trying to go the other side of the wall. And it goes wide. And that's the end of that. And what can you say? I mean, this is troubling. We've only got 3 points out of 4 games. The top 4 is looking a long way off at the moment. No point in pretending that. We've had a decent amount of our tough games, to be fair. We haven't had any straightforward home games yet. But we don't want to be where we are at. And this run of results is a disappointment. We need to try and pull away from it quickly. And yet, ironically, super performance by the whole team. Just running through those performances, Craven was outstanding. Good in the air. Took one very nasty free kick over her head in the first half. And a couple of saves. That save from Turner, top draw, brilliant. Centre-backs were all excellent, I thought, as well. Karen Allen brings in the ball forwards well, reading play well and making important interceptions. Lily Jones, driving force wherever you put her again, and really composed on the ball. Her passing was excellent. Her defensive work was excellent. And Nat Clark as well, good solid game on the right-sided centre-back and brought the ball out and played some snappy passes. The wing-backs, Cara Jones was lively. It's good to see her get a bit more of that snap into her game. And, she threatened, she linked up well. On the left, Lightfoot had one of those unusual sorts of games where she was involved all the time and she put a lot of good crosses in. She had chances to score. Her finishing wasn't on, sadly. I think I understood why we switched it around a little bit, just to see what else we could do, even though Lightfoot was very involved and did some very good things. In the middle of the pitch, I thought Cairns did really well. Like I said, there was a spell where she was really in control of it, which ended, actually, because when she got battered off the ball, the player followed through it after the ball had gone, and that seemed to have a real effect on her. Alongside her, Gibbard did really well, I thought. I mean, we brought her off as we were trying other things, but she worked ever so hard. She did a lot of hard work defensively, and her passing was decent, and she got into some good positions inside the penalty area. Liv Fuller playing between the two really was impressive. You know, I'm a big fan of Liv Fuller. If you listen to these, you know that. But she was maybe her best midfield performance for us in terms of the way she was moving the ball, recirculating it, quickly changing the angles of attack and taking up these little smart positions where she's able to intercept. I like Fuller a lot. She's a good player. Indom was very good as well, playing off Hughes again. She's got a good first touch. She can turn. She's very aware of what's around her. She had a couple of half chances as well, but couldn't hit the target. That was a shame. And again, Hughes, well, you know you're going to get 100% effort from Hughes. So many battles in the box. But she does seem to be coming up against some very gritty defences at the moment, which is unfortunate. Yeah, it's all unfortunate, isn't it? 3 points, like I said, out of 4 games, really frustrating. But, only one of those performances was poor. And I think we've just got to cling on to that, continue to stick with the way we're playing, and surely the results will come. In theory, a nicer looking run of fixtures coming up now, so let's hope at the end of it the table looks a bit better for us. Not least because Cardiff and Swansea, who both lost, Swansea lost 5-0 at home, suddenly look rather vulnerable. There's 5 sides who've got off to really strong starts in the season, and the league doesn't look as straightforward as normal. Worryingly, we're not in that picture. We need to try and get up there as soon as we can. With a final score of Barry Town United 1, Wrexham 0, I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC.